So, how human consciousness must evolve alongside artificial intelligence? How can we evolve? We must evolve, right? Hmm. When we enliven ourselves with the structures we have been given, I believe that this is the root that sustains and creates complacency. In the thought forms such as the great minds before us, as Steiner and Tesla and Cayce and Einstein, to just name a few, we look to them for the evolvement of the evolution of our future. But with every great master, the student always surpasses the master with the deepest of honor and respect and gratitude. To bridge the knowledge of consciousness is the awakening of our world. This is Corina Angela, and I'm reading an article that I wrote last year or beginning of this year. I don't know. I don't even remember yesterday. But this is on LinkedIn, and I'm reading from that. It's also on my Medium. Um, medium.com, where I publish a lot of my articles. So follow me there. But thank you for tuning in today. And I'm going to continue to read. And perhaps this is important for you to ponder and to speculate and to deep dive into. And perhaps this is another rabbit hole for you. Perhaps we delve deep into our own consciousness to better understand ourselves in contemplation before we venture out to elaborate, speculate, and to solve the teachings of all great minds that have come before us. Yeah. So that part was actually written on July 12th, 2026. See, I lose track of time. Thank God I date everything. I do that consecutive, like every day when I write. I'm a channel writer, have been for many, many years, and I date everything. I handwrite everything, but I date and time everything. So it's a good habit to have. Upon reflecting on what I wrote this evening, I realized a deeper observation. We often become attached to existing structures, teachings, and established ways of thinking. Those structures can support us, but they also can become the source of complacency if we stop questioning and creating, right? So it becomes a crutch. I think everything that is wonderful in the beginning and we utilize it every day and it's amazing, all of a sudden we become complacent. We become outside of ourselves and we rely on it as a tool, but then it becomes a crutch. And that becomes a problem. Great thinkers, Steiner, Tesla, Cayce, Einstein, and others should be honored as foundations, not destinations. Their work invites continuation, not imitation, and not limitations, right? The natural progression of knowledge is that each generation expands upon what came before. Surpassing a master is not an act of ego, but one of gratitude and evolution. Deep dive into that because that is so, love that. The next frontier is not simply interpreting the idea of great minds. It is a cultivation of our own consciousness, so that new insight can emerge from direct experience. Self-understanding precedes understanding the world. deep contemplation of our own consciousness may be more important than endlessly analyzing the teachings of others. As AI becomes increasingly woven into our future, this reflection becomes even more important. AI may expand our access to knowledge, but it cannot replace the necessity of human consciousness, contemplation, discernment, and the original insight, that original spark. That's the creation, right? The creation. Our conscious future will depend not only on the intelligence we create, but on the consciousness of how that intelligence is used. Consciousness is everywhere. The brain interprets it. The more deeply we experience consciousness, the more information we receive. It extends beyond the evidential. It's bringing matter into form, creating information, and shaping the reality we experience. Hmm. How are you experiencing consciousness every day? How are you applying your consciousness? Are you utilizing it? Are you deeply observing? Some things to think about.